2019, we launched a massive piece of the vision of Grace Church that we call All In, All Out. And so when we looked at the next chapter of what we felt like God was calling us to, we started to pray. And we started to ask the Lord, if we as a congregation went all in on something, how would that propel us to go all out with the good news of Jesus Christ? And you guys might remember that if you were part of it. We had lots of meetings, lots of conversations. We got together in small groups. We got together in big groups. We met together at the big event downtown and had a blast. The first time for almost a decade that the Bath campus family was under one roof together. It was incredible to see everybody. And all through that process, you could feel that God was building a momentum and was preparing us for something. And then that all culminated with us making financial commitments to the All In, All Out Vision campaign. And we did that in services, and we prayed together, and we prayed over names, and we prayed over commitments. And then we made a commitment to not just give financially, but also to pray for our three and to ask God to give us no-brainer moments with people that we know and love, that give us opportunities to share the reason for the hope that's within us. And coming out of that vision campaign startup phase was one of the most exciting and thrilling times that I've ever had in leading our church together. And the unity that God created and the momentum He created is something that we have been acting on ever since. So when you think back and remember that, we had three kind of major goals with All In, All Out. The first was the training up of interns and residents and the continued financing of some of our startup campuses. And we called that the 30 and 30 component. And so we have all kinds of young men and women who are studying for full-time ministry right here in Akron. And they work in our programs, and they're going to our fully accredited undergrad degree, and they're learning ministry so they can go do it as professionals or even lay leaders, but they want to give their life to that. And so we together as a church stood behind them financially through All In, All Out. The second big project tied to that was the Restore Opioid Recovery Center. And we looked together and said, God needs us to be a part of raising up hope for people here in Northeast Ohio. I'll never forget when I asked the question, who's been affected by opioids? And I remember hands going up all throughout our congregation. And we kind of felt that with each other and knew that the need was desperate, and we wanted to be a part of helping it. So we had the opportunity to invest over $1 million to help build the Restore Recovery Center. And it's with great joy that just a few months ago, we were able to open that facility. There are people receiving treatment and discipleship and counseling there as we speak, and God is using that investment already. And then the third component of this whole vision was our sports ministries. And we looked together and said that our community is asking us to do sports ministries. They're bringing their children to be a part of it, and we're able to disciple them, help them know the heart and the mind of Christ, as well as share Jesus with every single person involved in that individually. So we're passionate about that. And God has been drawing us into these projects, making opportunities for us, giving us opportunities to proclaim the gospel and the good news in places that He has provided. And our community has embraced all of that in a very unique way. They embrace the Restore project, and they have embraced our athletic project as well. So we came together back in 2019, and we made that 4-year commitment together that over the course of 4 years, we were going to give of ourselves, we were going to pray for our three, and then we were going to give financially to proceed with these projects and even bring them to completion in the end. So obviously a lot has happened between 2019 and 2021. But one of the biggest things that has happened is that God has affirmed our vision for sports ministry. Throughout COVID, our community has beckoned us to have our sports ministry, knowing that when they get their kids involved, we're going to disciple them and help them know who Jesus is. So even in COVID, we worked with Summit County Health to open our sports camps, worked with them again to open our basketball programs. All of those were filled up with a waiting list, and people needed us and wanted us to be a part of that. We also looked at the giving tied to All In, All Out for the creation of the new sports facility. And as we looked at that, we saw that we have been meeting those 4-year commitments, and we're on schedule and on pace to finish those commitments as we originally planned to do that. Even though we're halfway through it, we're right where we need to be. So here's the big announcement. Ready? The big announcement is this: we are going to proceed with building our new athletic facilities and the new nurseries that we planned on building through All In, All Out. What God has done through sports ministries these last couple of years has changed the lives of hundreds of people. So we're going to break ground this spring on this tool that we need to continue to invite our community as they have asked us to invite them, and to continue to share the good news and the hope of Jesus with them through sports. So let me walk you through this a little bit and show you what it's going to look like some. In the future, after the building is complete, when you come up to the Gent Road building, it's going to look a lot different. And you can see that we're going to take down the present nursery wing and place the addition kind of on that spot of our property. So that whole side is going to be expanded with the athletic facilities as well as the Little Power Kid and Junior Power Kid space. When you walk into the main entrance, you're going to walk into an expanded lobby. It's going to look very, very differently, and it's going to have a strong connection to the new space, so all of that kind of flows in a seamless way. Downstairs, we're also going to have new lobbies down there. So as kids take breaks during their sports programs, as parents are waiting for kids during practices, that space will be available to them, and it will also connect over to our present Power Kids areas. And then when you go to the front of the building, you're going to see that new space for kids. Little Power Kids and Junior Power Kids are going to have new areas that are designed and laid out specifically for them, and they're going to be beautiful and functional and special for them. And then in the middle of all of that is the athletic facility itself. And that athletic facility will consist of 2 gym floors, hardwood gym floors. It will consist of multi-purpose space. It'll be the place that we can have basketball, that we can have indoor soccer and other athletic events. And then remember, it may also be the space that we might have Christmas services or Easter services into the future. So it will have the ability to be used at its maximum potential all the way through. It's going to be beautiful, and it's going to be a wonderful tool that God gives us for ministry.